America. What an amazing country. So many buildings, amazing roads, the highest standards of living. This is the land of opportunity. I came to the US in 2003. I was a little older and it was hard for me to learn English. In this video, I'll share with you 4 ways to improve your English accent and articulation.
What's up, guys? Today I'd like to talk to you about how you can improve your American accent. My aim with this video is not to help you speak as if you were born in America. I don't speak as if I was born here. I have an accent and I love it. So be proud of your accent, first of all. What I'm trying to do with this video is to help you be able to communicate in a way that's clear so that people who are native can understand you better. The first thing I'd like to tell you is that you're not alone. Whatever you're going through, I've been through that. I came to this country and spoke no words of English whatsoever. The first 2 to 3 years were hard, challenging, and tough, and I'll talk more about it. And also, some of the greatest people, whether it's Jackie Chan, Arnold, they went through the same thing. So don't feel like whatever you're dealing with is something that's only specific to you.
I could prove them wrong. And I started working very hard. I started taking acting classes, English classes, speech classes, dialogue classes, even accent removal classes. I ran around all day saying lines like, "A fine wine grows on a vine." Because you see, we Austrians and Germans have a difficult time with the V and with the W and with the F, we get it all mixed up. So it was "a fine wine grows on a vine," or "the sink is made out of zinc."
I've worked with people who are very brilliant, and I've met people who are extremely smart when they speak their native language, whether it's Spanish, French, but when they speak English, they feel very little because they can't express themselves fully. As a result, they don't communicate anything at all. And in this video, I'm going to share with you 4 tips, 4 ways you can improve your American accent. Number 1, make friends with people who speak English and only English. This is a very obvious one. I've seen people in my community and in other communities who stay bound to the people who are from their country, who speak, let's say, Spanish, Portuguese, or French, and as a result, they never learn to speak English. I remember working with this lady at a fast food restaurant when I came to the US. She was very awesome, funny. She was funny even though sometimes I didn't understand most of what she said. And when people told me that she had been in the country for 9 years, I was shocked. I was surprised because she seemed like somebody who just came to the US maybe not long ago. And I was wondering, why is that? How can I avoid making the same mistakes? And one thing that I noticed is that she was very comfortable in her community and she spoke to people in Portuguese and she never got out of that community. And I was the same way initially also. I was only speaking French. I love my French. Je parle un très bon français, très couramment, et je trouve que c'est tellement beau. As a result, I never felt the need to step outside my comfort zone, hang out with people who spoke English only, because I felt stupid. I would sit with them, they would speak about things that I know, but I could not express myself. And it was so frustrating that I felt the need to just stay with people I could speak with where I was very comfortable. So the first rule is make friends with people who only speak English. Invest in those friends, spend time with those friends, and also get to practice your English with those friends. And they don't mind. And one thing with American people that I think is awesome is that they won't make fun of you. When people speak a broken French, I've seen people make fun of them. It's very embarrassing. But in English, people are very tolerant and they won't correct you most of the time, unless you ask. But they'll be with you, speaking, laughing, and doing their best to understand you. And I think that's an awesome thing about Americans. So make friends, go to different churches, stay in touch with people who don't speak your language and your native tongue, and also make sure that at home you speak English with your spouse. So how many friends do you have who speak English natively? How many friends outside of your community do you have that you can call and talk to for 15 and 20 minutes? So that's the first thing you need to do. Familiarity is important. You listen to English, you speak English on the phone, That's gonna help you with your American accent. That's step one. Step two is reading out loud every night before bed. I tend to grab my book, my favorite book, I would say, the Bible. I read it for about 10 minutes every night before going to bed. It makes it much easier for me to say words that I typically don't use. And reading is something that people who were born in America have done a lot. They spent hours and hours, 10,000 hours reading, speaking English. So you're trying to catch up to them, and one thing you need to do is to speak a lot. Watching TV alone is not enough. You can learn English by watching TV, of course. It'll make it easy for you to understand English, but you need to also practice speaking, and reading out loud is the best way to do that. And keep track of the words that you're not saying right. So if you find a word that's hard to pronounce, take notes. I tend to just write them on my phone. There are apps that I use, such as Evernote. I'll also put the name up there. And it's a very nice app to just keep track of things on your phone, and they all sync up with your laptop. I use that to basically write down some words that I have a hard time pronouncing. And then I go to howjsay.com. I put it right here to verify how people pronounce them. It's really been helping me say some words that I need to say at work or in different settings. It just makes my life much easier. So those are first ways for you to improve your English that you can do without spending a single dollar. Now we're gonna get into approaches that will require a little more investment. So the first one being buying this book, Mastering the American Accent. And it helps me a lot because in here, they recognize some of the mistakes people make. The mistake that we tend to make is that there are sounds in English that people who speak foreign languages don't have. That's why we mix them up. As a result, people have a hard time understanding what we're saying. This is the best book that I've actually found on this. It will explain to you how to pronounce words properly. And there are two versions. The first one here comes with a CD. If you still have a CD player, this is the first edition of the same book, Mastering the American Accent. It has 4 CDs. I play that in my car, and I'm gonna play you a little video right after this. I play that in my car, every morning when I go to work, sometimes in the evening, for about 10 to 15 minutes.
Enjoy the toy.
Enjoy the toy.
Spoiled boy.
Spoiled boy.
Appointment in Detroit.
Appointment in Detroit.
And I also now bought the latest version. This one comes with MP3s. So I have this on my phone, and I can play that at night when I'd like to basically go through a part of pronouncing English words that I struggle with. I would actually play those on my phone and also read at the same time. This one I've had for 10 years, since 2010. And this one I bought, I'd say maybe a year ago. This one is pretty new, maybe less than a year ago. So those books, you'll keep them for life, and you can keep practicing and keep getting better, especially given that you have a tendency to go back to your old ways of saying words because you speak a foreign language. So this will help you stay on track. The fourth way to improve your English is to use technology. I use my phone, and I've downloaded an app called Elsa Speak. Elsa Speak is a fantastic app that will help you basically get the quick feedback, and it's best for me to just show you instead of talking about it. All right, so I have Elsa Speak running on my Android phone. Elsa is also available on iPhones. Let me go to Cool Technologies. This is just one of the topics. You can pick different ones, football, cooking. They come up with many different topics almost every day. Every day I work on a new exercise. Let me pick one that's more like a conversation to make it more interactive. I like those because it's less boring and it's really fun. And this one, as you can see, is one that I've done. The one with the star. Everything else is new. So I'll pick one that's difficult and something like, how about this one? Are self-driving cars the future of transportation? Let's try that.
Driving is horrible in dense cities.
Tell me about it. That's why I don't drive anymore. 97%, not bad. Sometimes I get less than that, 80%, 85%. I have my days.
How do you get around if you don't drive?
I use public transportation or ride-sharing apps to get around. 92%. So I made a few mistakes, And I can keep trying this again and again. And if I want to hear how they're saying this, let me press on L on this button.
I use public transportation or ride-sharing apps to get around.
I use public transportation or ride-sharing apps to get around. The reason why it's a little challenging for me because I speak French and I have a tendency to use some words, if not some sounds that are in French. If you enjoyed this video and you know somebody that it can help, please like this video and also share it on Facebook, on social media, and on WhatsApp, on wherever you can, because this is something that can help people. I put out this content and I'll make sure to do that every week, coming up with new topics. Please write a comment if you can think of a way, a better approach, or tools you've used to improve your American accent. Also, subscribe to this channel so that we stay in touch. Thank you for your time.